TJ, your coach called you the best defensive player on the planet the other day. I'm curious, is that a standard you try to hold yourself to? That sort of.
I'm trying to be the best player I can possibly be. You can't really look at everything else. I think there's just so much going on in the season, so many more pressing things to focus on than who's the best, all that stuff. I just want to continue to be the best player I can be for myself and for this team.
TJ, what did you learn about your defense when guys had to sub in, and what does it mean to have Minkah back for you guys?
Talked to you guys about it. The communication was huge, and I thought we did a great job over the last 2 weeks, and being on the road was a factor in allowing us to communicate appropriately, and obviously getting Mink back helps significantly in the back end with some communication. But being back at home is going to be awesome for an environment, but it's also going to be a challenge for us when it comes to communication as a defense.
How much does it help then that you guys have had a couple weeks on the road to work on that communication before going back into the home environment?
It definitely helps, but at the same time, we haven't necessarily been working the hand signals and the nonverbals as much as you typically would. That's why it was very important to have crowd noise all week in practice this week. But it does help. Just the more reps that those inside guys, Michael, E-Rob, getting together is only going to make us better.
I think your defense was only held to 41 snaps on the field on Sunday. How significant is that?
That's huge. Best defense has spent a lot of time on the bench. Offense obviously was able to move the ball and allow us to stay on the bench a good amount. And we're still preaching the 3-and-out song. We're going to continue to do that as the season goes on. And really good defenses, like I said, stay on the bench, and that's what we're going to continue to try to do.
I know your relationship like with James Conner, and will be like playing against him.
Yeah, a lot of respect for James. Appreciate all the hard work that I was able to get to witness when he was here, all the note-taking. I sat next to him in team meetings, and the city of Pittsburgh loves him, and I'm excited for him to be able to come back to Pittsburgh. I know how important the city is to him and how well they always receive him, so I'm looking forward to seeing James.
You're the last guy standing here from that draft class, but the first 5 of you were still starting in the league. Was that a pretty special moment when you look back in 2017, all you come together?
It was. It means I'm getting old, which is it's not fun, but it says something about that class, and we stuck together, and some good football players in that class.
I know you take it one game at a time, but you have a favorable schedule coming up here. How do you keep the team from not looking past the 2-10 team, a couple 2-10 teams coming up here?
I mean, these guys are paid to play too. They're all, like Coach Tomlin always says, everybody in the NFL is the best high school player on their team, the best college player on their team. It's all about the best team on that day. Records are irrelevant at this point. It's just about going out there, performing the best of our ability. We're trying to continue to be a team on the rise, and I feel confident in our group and the week that we had this week in practice.
Do you think you guys are a team on the rise right now?
I mean,
Close to it?
it's all in the performance. It's looked like it the past couple weeks, but it means nothing if we take a step backwards this week. So that's not what we're looking to do at all.
What do you guys see out of Arizona on tape, especially with Kyler Murray being such a good back?
I mean, they can get in and out of different personnel groupings. They have a couple good tight ends that they can use if they want to get into that 13, 12 personnel. Other than that, they like to spread it out. Kyler obviously is the big challenge for us. James runs hard, but it's all about keeping that quarterback in the pocket, trying to get him down. There's so many times where it looks like it's a sure sack, and then he spins out of it or is able to run out of it. So it's a tough week for us.
Is it kind of like preparing for Lamar in a Ravens week, or is it more different than we would see?
I mean, they're different players for sure. The schemes are quite different, so there's definitely a little bit more differences than similarities, I'd say.
TJ, obviously, to lean on Marcus at all for some tidbits, with his familiarity with that team?
Oh yeah, a little bit with MG. Obviously, my brother. But it's a new staff and stuff, so it's hard. I mean, some personnel type of things you can. But other than that, I mean, at this point of the season, it's more about what we're doing in this locker room and how we're performing. And if we're doing everything right here, it should translate to the game field.
TJ, to that point, he hasn't played a ton of snaps, but what has Marcus brought to your group?
Positive energy, positive vibes. One of the best teammates I've ever been around. MG's a great guy, and he still has so much good football left. I mean, talk about a guy who's had 3 10-plus sack seasons. Doesn't matter if he gets 1 rep or 20 reps. He's super hungry. He's going to make the most of it, and just the overall super good vibes. And a guy that's a really good locker room guy, a glue guy.
TJ, TA said yesterday that a lot of people focus on your sacks and quarterback hits and that kind of stuff, but he made it a point to say the guy, look, he's got good in coverage and so many other things. I'm sort of curious, as you've gone through your career, how much point of emphasis has that portion of your job? the stuff that when it's not chasing.
I'm a big believer in how you do one thing is how you do everything. So, I mean, I'm trying to be the most well-rounded player I can possibly be. I mean, in the 3-4 system as an outside linebacker in the Pittsburgh Steelers scheme, you're expected to make plays. And things are schemed up for us to make those splash plays. And if I'm asked to drop in coverage, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to try to make the most of it. And if I can get my hands on the ball or even pick it off, then I'm doing my job.
You think you're better at that part aspect of it than you were even a couple of years ago?
I don't know. It's hard for me to say. You'd have to ask someone else. I don't know.
Are we going to see the Joey celebration again if you do something else in coverage, or was that like a one-time?
Things just instinctively happen. I'm super proud of Joey and his progression, and I like we talk about having juice and good vibes, and he's brought juice and good vibes to the defense, and if we can have fun along the way, that means we're doing something special.
Do you still black out? You joked earlier. You joked earlier in your career sometimes about the post-sack stuff that you just sort of black out and you don't even know what happens. Is that still a common occurrence?
A little bit. I mean, definitely not as much because I've done it. I don't want to say like I've just been in the game for so long that it's more of like I'm just able to process it more, and it's not a euphoric type feeling. It still is obviously the best feeling, but I'm able to be more present in the moment, if that makes sense.
Minkah, you playing?
Yep.
How you feeling?
Great.
Why does it take a hamstring so long to get back to normal?
Because you don't know until you go. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them injuries where you could feel great, and then you go out there and you run, and it's still not 110. And then you could go out there and feel great, and then you might pop some scar tissue or tweak it a little bit. And especially as a DB, receiver, or running back, something like that, you don't want to be out there until you're 110 and you can play at full go. So that's one of those things you got to take your time with. Be patient, you know what I'm saying, which is annoying, but yeah.
What have the last couple of weeks been like? I know we've seen you on the sideline. You made the adjustment or put the word into Grady's ear, to put the word into TA's ear to make the defensive adjustment a couple weeks ago. But just what have you seen from the sideline? I've been trying to be a little bit more vocal. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I can't go out there and play and lead by example, but I try to go out there, communicate what I see. Whether it's in practice, whether it's in the game or in the film room, just try and communicate as much as I could. Has it been hard to be more vocal? I mean, you're a pretty quiet guy. What has that challenge been like?
No, it's not hard. It's just me just having to step outside of myself, outside of my character a little bit, and do what the team needs me.
Minkah, what did you see from guys like Elijah before he went down, and then Trent last week, obviously with the interception?
I think all the guys that had to step up, they did a great job. I think Elijah, he's a guy that he's smart. He knows where to be. He's physical. He provides a lot of splash for us on special teams, and when he got in there on defense, there was no surprise.
Anticipate some 3 safety sets with Trent kind of getting some time out there?
We're gonna, he made a lot of plays. He did a lot of good things, and like I said, he earned himself a helmet. He did what he had to do to get out there, and however we use him, whether it's 3 safeties, whether it's in dime, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna be out there for sure.
Minkah, how different of a player is Joey than the last time we were out on the field
He's still Joe. You know what I'm saying? He's still playing man-to-man, playing press, doing what he has to do. Obviously, he has more experience under his belt, a little bit more maturity under his belt, but he's still playing his game.
Minkah, Mike T called TJ the best defensive player on the planet the other day. Pretty good at your job too. Did you take that personally?
No, I didn't take it personally, man. I know TJ's a great player. He's a guy that provides splash all the time. He's a game record. He's an unstoppable force. So no, I didn't take it personally.
Yeah, was it different watching him? You had a different perspective last month watching him on the sidelines as opposed to being behind him. I mean, do you find yourself zoning in on 90 at all sometimes before the snap?
Not really. I mean, when I was on the sideline, I was focusing on my DBs, on my guys in my room. Obviously 90 is going to provide the splash either way. So your eyes are going to go to him. But yeah, I was more focused on my group and my guys.
Is Kyler Murray a unique guy to prepare for, especially since he's like Murray, he's not somebody that you see very often being over there in that division?
Yeah, I think we have like bodies in our division. With Deshaun, with his backup, and then with Lamar, and also his backup. We have like bodies. But, each one of these guys are unique talents. They get paid the way they do for a reason. They're in the positions they are for a reason. They're guys that can make plays with the arm, with the feet. They got great talent around them. So, when you prepare for them, you got to prepare for like you're playing Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I guess it would be unique circumstance.
You and TJ and Cam have played one quarter together all season. Obviously, you three have been together for a long time.
Dang, really?
Yeah, Cam went out the first game.
Yeah.
And then TJ, whatever.
Yeah.
Is that going to mean something that this is what your defense, each level, you guys have been around for a while, and now down the stretch you're all together. Is that you're going to peak now, I guess?
Yeah, I hope so. It's exciting. I didn't even realize it was only one quarter. I thought it was like a game or two. But yeah, all of the pieces are back on the chess board. So we're all A players, so we should be playing at an A level.
TJ said he wants to be a team on the rise. Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time? Do you feel like your arrow's up at the right time of the season?
I think our arrow is up, but we definitely haven't peaked yet. I think our arrow is trending in the right direction, but there's still a lot of things that got to get done. A lot of things we got to be better at.
I know you guys take it one game at a time, but it is a very favorable schedule for you guys coming up here. How do you keep the guys from not looking past a couple 2-10 teams here?
Just think about being 1-0. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we control is how we go out there and play this weekend. Who we face next week or the week after that, it doesn't matter because we got to beat them when that time comes.
The type of injury you have, is it fully healed?
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
The type of injury you have, is that something that you're still apprehensive about, that it could, or is it fully healed now, or just you got to play and hope?
No, I feel good. I feel really good. But like I said earlier, hammy's a hammy. I might feel a little bit, but sometimes you got to play through it. But hopefully go out there and I don't feel that at all.
Pat, TJ said that he wants to be a team on the rise. Do you feel like you're that team right now? You guys are peaking at the right time?
We're getting there. I believe we are. We still got a game left in the third quarter of the season. Coach always talk about there's a difference between being 3-1 and 2-2. So we just want to continue to, trend in the right direction. I really, really feel that we are. Got an explosive team coming in here this week. So we're going to be challenged on the edge, on the back end with the deep ball that they're going to try to present to us. We got Connor coming back, so we know they're going to try to run the ball a little bit. So we have a great opportunity in front of us to see if we're still taking the proper steps in the right direction.
I know you guys always say you take it one game at a time, but we've got a very favorable schedule here coming up. What are you guys doing here to keep guys from not looking past the 2-10 teams?
Oh yeah, just like I said, it's a game at a time. We understand that any given team can win on Sunday. We fell into that, when we had the opportunity to play Cleveland. That's the game that we felt that we should have won, but those guys prepared just as we did throughout the week. So we understand that we can't take no team lightly. So when we line up and play, we have to play like the Pittsburgh Steelers each and every time we step on the whatever venue that we have an opportunity to play in.
Patrick, you said it was a big game for James to come back home. I know it's been a couple of years, but is this a big deal for you to play against Arizona?
Oh yeah, it's always a big deal when you have an opportunity to play against your old team. So yeah, it's a big game for me.
Obviously, if you Google Patrick Peterson, Cardinals, a lot of headlines about you and Kyler come up. For us here in Pittsburgh who weren't following that closely, what would you say about that back and forth or that storyline from your vantage point?
It's in the past. It's 2023 now. Looking forward to this matchup that we have against those guys this year. It's behind us now. Looking for a new storyline come Sunday.
Him as a player, is he similar to the guy you were with? Does he look the same on tape as he did when he faced Minnesota? Can you help guys in this room who haven't faced a unique player like him?
He's definitely is a unique talent. There's no question about that. He does a great job of creating extra time for his receivers down the field. Does a really, really good job of avoiding, those free blitzers. So we have to do a really good job of staying on our feet because he is a little guy. So we can't jump. We can't go for the pump fake. So we have to make sure that we stay grounded when we do have an opportunity to sack him in the pocket. So we know he has a very, very good deep ball. We know that they love to boot him and run that snake post option. So Kyle is a one-of-a-kind quarterback. Like I said, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I just wish him nothing but the best in his career moving forward. He looks like he's starting to get back into his old ways, coming back, in 3 weeks, having 2 rushing touchdowns. So look like he's starting to get into his groove.
What do you learn about TJ being in the building with him as opposed to seeing him on film or just possible? What have you learned about him as a player?
Man, TJ loves the game. Not only he loves the game, he loves his teammates. He always want to make sure that he's leading by an example. He's a guy that give his teammates in this game everything that he has, and you can't do nothing but respect that and follow that. So people ask me all the time, like, how is it coming, into this locker room? It's amazing, because these guys not only make my job easier because, when you're an older guy and have so much experience in this league, everyone expects you to come in and be like, oh, this is my locker room. I'm a leader. Leaders are different. I'm the type of guy that leads by an example. I don't have to be in the front line, saying poking my chest out or anything like that. And TJ's the same. And that's why I felt like, I fit right in with this group of men, because all we do is care about one another and care about our business. And like Coach always talk about, that's winning.
You guys have had a lot of different personnel groups with Minkah out.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's
man, we survived, didn't we?
How did you survive, and what does this mean, maybe specifically for you, to have him back?
Yeah, my role is going to be pretty much the same. Playing the nickel, the penny, maybe be safety a little bit here and there. So it's awesome to get Minkah back into the lineup, man, because he means so much to not only the secondary but to this defense, man, by getting guys lined up, the playmaking ability, the fire that he brings each and every play. So we're so just extremely blessed to get Minkah back at this time of the year, because like we talked about earlier, we really feel like we're trending in the right direction. And when you're trending in the right direction, you get a 5-star player like Minkah, man, let's see where it really can take us.
Pat, because you guys had to survive without Minkah, how much more versatile and deep does it make this defense? Obviously, you guys have had some injuries, but adding him back while you figured out how to piece things together, just how much does that help the defense?
That just made Coach Tomlin and Grady's job that much harder. You got to find ways to get the guys on the field, because I believe we really, really started to hit our stride, man. Week after week, we got better and better with the communication, limiting the explosive plays, So all it was is just continuity, just guys continue being with one another. You guys still have to think about it. Like, it's a lot of first-year guys in this system, you know what I mean? So now you can really, really see it all start to come together to everyone. Now we really feel like we're in our stride right now. We're in our bag, so we have to continue to keep, as Coach Grady like to say, we got to keep that glow. We got to keep that glow, man, until the end of the season, and see where they place us in the playoff and continue to have that glow.